Hello, everybody. Scott Golden here with the Golden Opportunities Coaching YouTube channel. Welcome to those of you who are new. Over 650 audios available on this channel for your listening pleasure on psychological, mental, emotional health related topics. We try to be here as often as we can, several times per week usually. And we would love to be of assistance to you. If you're looking for coaching in life, relationship, business, or any other point, would love to be of assistance to you there as well. And if you're looking to do that, you can get in touch via Twitter at PO Perception or in the About Me section of this YouTube page, and we can kind of connect in that manner. The more connected we are, the easier it is to make a consistent connection in that manner, and would love to do that for your benefit. In any event, today we're going to talk about how to kill depression. Depression is probably, outside of anxiety, one of the most common mental illness issues that exists within the world today. I think people are depressed because their expectations don't meet with the standards of life that they are experiencing, and thus depression sets in. Now, how does one deal with those things in simple and easy to understand ways? And that's super pretty basic and simple. It's necessary, but it's also, uh, you know, important to look at in a deeper way. And without a doubt, it is also something that if you're looking at it, you're kind of looking at it from a different perspective, and that is, how do I get to a better place and in a consistent manner. The first is exercise. Physical motion in general, changing the kinesthetics of the body so that the mind can be made simpler and easier. Changing those kinesthetics is super important, and the position is super important because a couple of reasons. Motion creates release of emotion, that's first. Secondly, when one can take oneself to the brink of exhaustion in a physical sense, it's easier to decompress from negative emotions, thereby creating opportunities for positive change and also opportunities to get to a place where you can kind of refocus onto another not as stressful concept, not as stressful mindset, and then be able to make decisions from a more meaningful perspective. And then the next thing in that is priming yourself. So knowing that good diet matters and good sleep matters, and spending time in reflection and gratitude and meditation or prayer if you're a spiritual person, you know, understanding that you have to get into a bit of ceremony, somewhat, or habit in order to keep yourself away from being depressed. If you know that watching a certain television program, listening to certain music, being around certain people is going to depress you, then ding dong hello, not worth doing in the long run. And so you have to choose the actions you take to get the results that you want and that you truly, truly desire. When your actions and your desires don't match, you usually get what you don't want because we tend to go to our default setting. And if you have a habit toward depression or event towards depression, then you're going to more likely get things you don't want, emotions you don't want, dealings you don't want, and factors that you would rather not deal with. Now, the next thing in that area is read and study, or if you're not a reader, use audio. Listen to and read things about how people overcome challenges. When you prime yourself with the idea and the mentality that these issues can be overcome, it's easier to imagine yourself doing it. If you're constantly believing that you're the only one feeling the way that you feel, you're the only person experiencing that which you experience, then in all honesty, it's kind of wasteful to a degree to even think about making changes in a long term manner. Not because you shouldn't, not because it doesn't matter, but because at the end of the day, how can you see yourself as a person capable of making these changes when you're only surrounding yourself with people that aren't making them? So, again, surroundings matter a whole lot. Surroundings matter a great deal because sooner or later, what you surround yourself with, both emotionally and in terms of quality of people, are going to rub off on you. You're going to pick up their attitudes, their mindsets, maybe even their subconscious habits. And if they're not living well, then you will have a harder time living well yourself. Next is your diet. So avoid a lot of chemicals in your food. The more natural and sometimes raw that you eat, the better off you're going to be. Make sure you're infusing yourself with things that are high in protein and in good um, positive fats, but also make sure you're avoiding things that cause crashes like sugar and caffeine and alcohol, especially if you have a tendency towards depression. When you put things that are cleaner into your body, when you are more mindful with the way that you eat, meaning you don't rush through a meal, you actually take time to savor flavors and the time to rest while you're eating, that will also help too. It helps digestion, but it also helps for self reflection when there is gratitude around the idea of, what you're putting into your body. It translates into better quality of decisions about what you're putting into your body as well. The next thing to consider and the last thing to consider is self rewards. Now, these things don't have to be huge, and they certainly don't have to be, every day, all day. But if you have gone through things that you're ready to give up on yourself for, or you're really struggling, having a reward at the end of the week. Maybe you go to a bookstore or that special coffee shop, or you go to a favorite restaurant, or you go to an art museum if you really like beautiful things. You have things that you mark in your life as, I'm going to celebrate when I'm overcoming my hardships. I'm overcoming my bad beliefs about myself, and ultimately I'm going to overcome the things that are holding me back. When you have built into your own process a way to see yourself as an overcomer, it becomes much easier to live the lifestyle that would allow you to continue to be the overcomer that you desire to be. And that is super important, valuable, and brings about consistency. So hopefully this is helpful. I encourage you to keep your feet on the ground, your mind in the moment. Till next time, everybody.